Welcome to today's Pioneer in Mycology series of the International Society of Human and Animal Mycology, ISHM. And we are particularly delighted to welcome Dr. Arya Chindamporn as today's speaker of our ISHM series. Our guest, Dr. Chindamporn, is Associate Professor at the Mycology Lab, Faculty of Medicine, and consultant in medical mycology at Chulalongkorn University and King Chulalongkorn Memorial Hospital, both, of course, located in Bangkok, Thailand. And among her many honors and achievements, she was nominated Distinguished Researcher just in 2024, so very recently, by the Sciences Alumni of KZ Tharth University, Bangkok. And this year, in 2026, she became an honorary member of the Indian Society of Medical Mycologists. So there's a lot to talk about. And rather than having Dr. Chindamporn give a lecture, and as a frequent visitor you may already know, we decided it would be more preferable for her to engage in a conversational type of interaction. So Dr. Chindamporn, we are very excited to have you as our speaker today and are looking forward to learn about your pioneer work in mycology. Welcome.
Thank you so much. May I just greeting in Thai style. สวัสดีค่ะ Yeah, it's really a great honor for me. I'm very exciting. Yeah,
Thank you
to
very
be
much.
here.
Wonderful. So we would start into our conversation with a topic that we call history. So it's a bit structured an interview, right? So how would you describe the field of medical mycology when you started? And what drew you into the work on fungi, and what were the opportunities and challenges in that regards? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, may I just start a little bit before? Yeah,
Mhm.
because actually I'm not a medical mycology field. I start from the agricultural field. Yeah, that is my bachelor degree. I'm just so impressed with my advisor, but he works all day long, Saturday and Sunday, and he
Yeah.
worked with a yeast.
Mhm.
Yeah, what I wonder is that why yeast only single cell but can do everything like a machine. That's why I started, to love fungus and
Ah,
all the professor that taught me in mycology in fungi and yeast are so kind. That's why it also inspired me to have a special problem to work with the alcohol yeast. And
so
afterward,
what was it?
please.
What was his name? The name of the professor who brought you
Oh,
nearer to mycology.
yeah, called จลัด
Thank you.
ดวงตา
So yeah, that is interesting, and indeed, so you originate from biological,
agriculture.
so to
Yeah.
say, or basic, and yes. Okay, please tell us more.
Okay. And afterward, I just changed because my senior suggests me that after you graduated in agriculture, you better change. So as if you finish from any field, you have like you finish from Saccharomyces, so you better change to challenge yourself. Yes, from Saccharomyces to other organism, like
Mhm.
to Candida or something. Yeah, that why I just switched from agriculture to the medical field. Then I studied in Faculty of Medicine in Mahidol University. Yeah, and my advisor is Dr. Prayat Tasana Padit and Tasanakon, and he already expired. Yeah,
Mhm.
but he really gave me the chance to work with my friend, my classmate. Yeah, we two together, we have so fun. Yeah, he taught me about he let us to learn the textbook, the taxonomy,
Mhm.
the whole taxonomy, and also I work on the bolitus. Yeah,
Which is which is
the
big
mushroom.
topics. big topics today, right? Taxonomy is much under discussion at the moment, and we are all having fun with aligning our thoughts on taxonomy and the agricultural field. But we may come back to that. That's highly interesting because today we know even more so how important it is with resistance. And so that is, that's impressive that you already were in agricultural mycology a while ago.
Thanks.
So,
and then and after I just jumped into, after I graduated from master degree, I got to work in Faculty of Medicine that I stay from that time until now. I still in the same place. Yeah, and work, just jump into the medical mycology. And at first, oh, what is this? I don't know. I have nothing. I have no idea. Because in my master degree, I just work in the Borytus, and taxonomy in the book, in the textbook. Yeah, I forgot that book. It's quite thick. The green one, green cover. Number 1 and number 2. We two together work on that. Yeah. And in 2000, we call in 2009, 1980. Okay, just start in hospital. At that time, it's only 6 to 3 square meters room for the medical mycology, and also 1 microscope.
Yes.
Yeah, only that. Yeah, that's why we start with our senior professor. Yeah, we start from that point.
Yeah. Well, that's really even more impressive that it was it's interesting how you entered the field. It will be highly interesting for our audience, I guess. So then at some point you started to build your own research program, and their communication and collaboration must have been important there. So can you elaborate on this?
Okay, for this collaboration, it's quite hard, because I'm not a good English speaker. That's one thing. Yeah, and inside, all around me is only the physicians. So we talk in a different language, as you know. Yeah, a bit different language. So it's something that challenged me to be very humble. Yes, have to really very humble. Cannot ask too much. You have to know how to talk with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really learned how to talk with the physicians and how to work with them. Yes. But however, the important thing is that we have to have the patient center. So we try to refer to the patient. That's why how collaboration inside the university at that time. Yes. And after that, I have chance, I have chance to go international, to go to CDC, because I don't have any much background about the medical mycology. So I went to CDC, Center for Disease Control, in US, in Georgia, Atlanta, under the umbrella of Dr. Libero Agelo and Dr. Halley. Yeah, that's why that is the important point for me, significant point for me to start the medical mycology field.
Yeah, the Centers for Disease Control often played that role in careers of mycologists and likely other infectious disease and other scientists. But I understand. So how was Libero Agelo?
Yeah, at that time, yeah, he's really very busy, but he asked Dr. Patty, to take care of me and also the staffs. And also at that time, they have a Dr. Standard, the Paul Standard, on the field of serology. So I learned a lot at that time, and also Dr. Halley. During that period, I have chance to go to Duke University to have the intensive summer course.
I see.
Yeah, with the Dr. Thomas Mitchell.
Mhm.
That is another point. I still have that book, yeah, about our examination and our spot test. Quite exciting and really,
Yes.
really very, yeah. Please.
So you saw all the that sounds like a good plan. So you went from Thailand to Atlanta for the CDC, and then you spent time and did a course with at Duke's. That is, um, any other places you went with mycology topics?
With the mycology topics, I went to Denmark to
Yeah.
Royal College,
Hmm.
Royal
Hmm.
Dental College.
Yeah.
Yes. At that time, I have chance to work with the candida to know more, yeah, how to identify candida with the chrome agar and blah blah. And afterward, may I just talk about my PhD?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Afterward, I just come back to work, yeah, for a while, and then I just decided you cannot be a master degree to be a faculty staff. We
Yeah.
have to get the PhD and more experiences.
Mhm.
And I have chance that Professor Tanaka, Kenji Tanaka, in Nagoya University,
Mhm.
Faculty of Medicine, yeah, he kindly accepted me as his advisee. So I work with the repetitive sequence of the Candida albicans. And over there, it was really exciting for me because we have to speak another language. You know, we have to
Yes.
speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah, in together with my poor English, together with my poor Japanese, and together with the because during my bachelor degree, I do not have experience with the molecular, But
Hmm.
when I jumped into the PhD, I have to study the whole molecular
Yeah.
pulse field jet electrophoresis. Yeah, to
Hmm.
work whole day, and
Hmm.
also we have to prepare the DNA preparation, more than 100 strains per night. Yeah, something like that. It really built me up. Yeah, to have more how to say strengthening not only the
Yeah.
information, not only the academic,
Hmm.
also the spiritual. Yeah, the mind also have to be really accept so many things that really different kind of experiences. Yeah.
Yes, that is very impressive. So I couldn't imagine learning Japanese. Um, but you were much younger than I am today, so maybe then it's
No, I don't
easier.
think
Let's
so. They were-
so the
yeah.
so it appears that mycology comes with a lot of traveling, or if you do travel and are willing to stay in other
Mhm.
countries even for years. So Nagoya was 4.5 years, I guess, um, and that is very helpful. And it helps, of course, creating network. And
Mhm.
I know that you are very active in the medical mycology training network, and so do they run regular courses, or how is that done in different countries?
Yeah, maybe I just tell you a little bit before, like
Yeah.
my life, my working life, just
Yes.
divided
Yes, please.
into just a
Hmm.
step. First step will be the diagnosis.
Hmm.
Yes, that train myself. Yeah, and something train myself to know that if you train more people to know more about the fungus, to think about the fungus is just like a flowers or like a very cute small animals, something like that. Just love it. Yeah, that is a first step for me, first bridge for me to step up, to train.
Yeah.
Yeah. And afterward, this training changed me to be another mentor. I will talk afterward. Okay.
Hmm.
So now
Hmm.
about training that you asked me. Yeah. because mycology, especially in Asia, it's very few people that have the experience. I'm not, I do not mean that have a good experience, not like that, but I just starting at that time, starting.
Yeah.
And I think it's my good luck, have to say that I met the group of people who really want to train, especially in Asia, Southeast Asia, like Professor Chakrabarti, yeah, Dr. Tan Ban Hock, and we also have the support Dr. From Taiwan, Chen Yichun, yeah, and also yeah, we have the very good support from. Can I say about the company? No, it's better not. Yeah,
That's perfectly okay. We
yeah.
want to know it all. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, from Pfizer.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do not know why all the people just come together as a group, and we're starting in China. We have
Mhm.
a first a meeting in China to try to train at that time. If I'm not wrong, it's 2009
Mhm.
until now. So you
Yeah.
can how many years already? 2009 until now is 15 years, right?
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So we try to do every year. Yeah, in Southeast Asia,
Mhm.
in Vietnam, in Thailand, and we just start like a international, like a Southeast Asia, and afterward we try to inspire them, try to make the local people, local laboratory to train by themselves.
Yeah.
Like for example, start in Thailand, and the next this year and next year, they will start try to make the local people to
Mhm.
train the trainer to get the trainees, something like that, like a
Yeah.
spider. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Networking as a strategy and with a purpose. That's fantastic and highly successful as far as I can see from the distance, so to say, from Germany. When I realize what a network has been built in Southeast Asia. Um, any other aspects on that, or shall we turn to the future of medical mycology, which is directly coming from the networks, I guess? So, what do you think
Yes,
about the changes that we saw and how it will develop, please?
the future of the medical mycology.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, it's very hard.
yes, of
It's
course.
really very hard. Yeah. Yeah, before the future, we have to realize that many things change from the conventional, right? Yeah. From the conventional field, now molecular field, proteomic, right? Proteome, and then what is transcriptome. So many things change. So as the taxonomy that change, we can say change every minute.
Yes.
So so how can we deal with the future mycology? How can we deal with them?
Is it
Very-
so? What is the best from the past that we would take? It's networking and interdisciplinary work. I presume. It's I don't know the future either.
yeah,
So
we
maybe
just
it's
try.
not.
You know,
Yes. Yeah,
it's
please.
quite hard to say that. I think we might have to really respect the next generation.
Mhm.
Yes, what we can
Mhm.
help them or what they ask. If they are not asking, we better. I try to be a little bit keep quiet. Yeah, sometimes the next generation they want to try themselves first, and what they lack of something they will ask. So it
Mhm.
depends on the individual. We have to match with individual for the future mycology.
Yeah.
I think at first we might have to make them know what is the problem, what is the real problem of the mycology right now, and then they will see what is the future that they should go, and they can help, especially for the patients, especially for the big problem with the AST, right? Resistant aspergillosis. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
right now, many young generation, they do understand what is the problem, and they try to do that. And that is one field. Another field might be about the next generation sequence. About the next generation sequence or molecular, you know, I asked my young generation, the how to say, the new one that just come into the faculty staff.
Yeah.
How you gonna identify this fungus? He said, oh, very easy. You just put into the PCR. From sample, you just put in the PCR, then you know that.
Yeah.
I think this is quite something in my idea. I think it's not safe. It's not so safe. It's good to jump, but at the same time, they better try to realize or try to aware of the basics. Like if you have a sample and you do not have the PCR, how you gonna do with this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see.
just try to that. Even you go to with the very advanced technology, you also need to be back to the foundation, to the fundamental of that.
Yes.
Especially in Southeast Asia, we do not have the T2 PCR, right? We do not have the next generation sequence in all the lab.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
see.
So yeah.
And if NGS gives you a signal and the name of a pathogen, it's still unclear whether that is the pathogen causing the disease of your patient, right? That's
Yes.
yeah. So we need the basics to it's not that we do not need culture, is what I understand from what you say, and to look
Yeah.
at the pathogen and try to understand what it is, and in parallel, then do fine tuning with the molecular or other techniques.
Maybe I just have one
Yeah,
sentence. I
please.
think not only that, it should have the network collaboration, you know, between the lab, the physicians, and also the patients. Not only the patient, also the family of the patient. We have to think in the whole story, because if the patient's sick, it means that the circulate of their family also sick, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have to link, we have to think all over. That's just my idea. Only that
Yes.
sentence I would like to mention.
Yeah, I see. Specifically, if it is a transmittable mycosis or an implantation mycosis or endemic mycosis, we are struggling with this word too, right? So whether endemic makes sense with changing climate, etc. But yes, I understand. Yeah, you need to look at the family as well, not only that index patient. That's very good advice. Thank you. Yeah. Um,
Thanks.
I'd like to ask something about leadership. Okay, so you are a leader, a pioneer, and when you go through the series, you will see that most pioneers are male. And so we are very proud that we have female pioneers and leaders. And so, what about the faculty? What can we do to better support our young aspiring scientists or physicians to become female faculty?
It is different, Oliver. Yeah, normally in in US or in Europe, most of the men, right, are the mycologists. But in Asia, especially in Thailand, most of in the medical field and also the scientists
Mhm.
are female.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then we specifically want to learn from you. That's-
And for the female in Thailand, we can say that I can say, right? Yeah, something like an equal,
Yeah.
yeah, almost equal,
Yeah. I see.
female and male.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm.
So
And
you
we
are
just,
very advanced. You're very advanced
oh, really? No.
compared
Yeah.
to compared to other regions of the world. Certainly, that is the case. There is change, I guess, and there is we see more and more women in science and faculties as well, and of course. It's changing, but it's not. We're not yet there that we would have that equality between in all regions of the world.
Yeah.
Um, so, any advice that you would want to give to well, to young aspiring scientists, physicians, advice that you want to give?
Mm. From during my teaching, okay, mycology, most of the students, even right now, they don't like fungus. They say that the fungus is very, very difficult. Even you say Taradomycosis, the name always change. So we have to say something that quite funny, like a fungi, right? FUN, fun,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
GI, like a GUY.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
I just try to communicate with them with something that not so serious. Yeah, like to make them feel like we are like a sister or mother with the baby, something like
yeah.
that, and
Mhm,
just write the cartoon. Yeah, to make the young generation feel the fungus feel is not difficult. That's one thing. The
mhm,
second thing is that we should make them feel that any patient that got infection by the fungus is not easy to diagnose, like a bacteria, virus, or immunology. You know,
mhm,
the fungus is something that hide inside, and it need really your generation to help the patients. Try to treat them, try to help them. Not only that, you just try to think that if in case you or your family, sorry to say that, are sick, how can you help them? If you're not starting because you are in the medical field, you are in the medtech field, you have chance to do that. Why not? So this is your chance to get your activity, to get your insight, to get your potential to do that. And the fungus, you can see, you know, it just have so many mycelium, right? Sporulation, something like that. So just try to make them that touch to the nature, like a tree. This is something that we try to make the future generation to realize the significance, not only because of it's hard to say. You just say something like a cartoon. You can say something like a histoplasma. I forgot the word. Like when you say varicella, right? On the name of the mushroom. Just say,
yeah.
okay, mushroom. If you say that in Thai, we say that het fang. Okay. Het fang. You can say that this mushroom born
Mhm,
in the straw, rice straw. Right? Yeah. If you can name something like this and you eat every day, so why not you try to make them healthy as edible and not edible? It also toxic. And right
mhm,
now it's a pathogen.
mhm.
Yeah, just try to make them have the how to say the big eyes, the big thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the big
try
picture.
to help
Yes.
something. Yeah, try to have a different image. Try to do like that. We might have some future generation that can make different things from our generation and make the medical mycology better for the future, I think.
Well, that's wonderful thoughts and highly interesting how you to learn your approach to the younger and aspiring the next generation. That's very, very interesting. Thank you very much for sharing that. I was trying to be really silent and not interrupt because that was wonderful that you shared this. A last question from me. Is there any other useful things, stories you want to share? You already told us so much about your leadership philosophy and your approaches. So any other thing that you want to share? Is there any mistake that you made and that you learned from in the past, for example, just as an example? Anything in that direction?
May I just tell something that I quite impressed before I talk about my mistake?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we still have time?
Yes, we do have time. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I really in 2004 I have chance to go to Michigan State University. Yeah, to the lab of Professor Leonel Mendoza. Yeah, who I met in CDC at that time. During the first, I went to a CDC, and that is my starting of the organism that is not a fungus; it's a fungus friend, parafungus. Yeah, and from that, I got after I went back to Thailand, came back to Thailand. I have chance to try immunotherapy, not I myself, but for the patient. And most of the patients are quite, they were very poor, not only the money, but also their life. And I really had chance to make the immunotherapy using the crude antigen combined with the surgery and also itraconazole and terbinafine to treat them without any cost, any money. Because I promised with the Professor Mendoza that I'm not going to get any money from them. Yes. And I'm very, very happy when the doctor told us that the patient saved their life, saved their legs. Yeah. So that is what I really impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, for the pediatricians. Even I'm working in the field of the fungus, but they are the friend together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing is that just one sentence. Another thing is that I'm very quite happy that I went to India several times for the talk. Yeah. And I think might be 10 years, 5 to 10 years afterward. Yeah. Yeah, the Pythium keratitis in India was diagnosed. Yeah, with a huge number. And also they can have a very good treatment and can save the cornea.
Yeah.
That is what I think we can save so many patients with that. Okay, let's go back to the mistake. Okay, my mistake. What is my mistake? A lot. But one thing that I learned from my mistake to build up my training, how can I train other people with the kindness and not too much strict. Yeah, we have to be quite kind because fungus, everyone say that it's very difficult. Yeah. So the mistake is that really I'm very strict person. So with the diagnosis, related to the patient. Yes, we have to really keep the turnaround time, keep the right report, and keep all the standard. Yeah. So to deal with the technicians is another thing. They do understand what is the significance, but they couldn't. They try their best, but I am dissatisfied with that. Yeah. But even we try to help each other, but we still the same error, still the same. So I'm quite sad for that. But afterward, with my spiritual, I think someone helped me try to change my mind, and we can just shift from the still strict, but have to be very kind to them. Have to work together with the kindness and try to say that every fault you make is the lesson to make you feel better.
Yeah.
That's why that is the big point to change me until now. Yeah. Try to be kind, but still strict, but strict in the limitation.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I think we can work from that to make a more medical mycologist, more to have the smiling mind to work with the fungus, work with the mycelium, work with the yeast, and work with the dimorphic fungi that cause the very suffering life. Yeah, I think.
Adia, Dr. Chinnaporn, thank you very, very much for today's working with us, actually. So we are very grateful that you decided to share your insights and lessons learned with the mycology community. Our goal is to inspire young mycologists to dedicate their energy to our fascinating field and one day become pioneers. And I think that your interview was very, very helpful in that regard. So thank you very, very much for all your support, and congratulations to all the achievements and the improving patient lives. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much.